Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy C.T. Brown, and you're watching Pulse of the Ring. And today I have with me Jay McNeil, aka Bobby Chrono.
Bobby
There we go.
Chrono, baby.
We were just talking before we hopped on here about how he is the king of tag team wrestling, and how Cage Match needs to go ahead and update him on there.
They need to update me for real because I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh man, no one can find, I can't even find me on Cage Match.
I can
Like,
find myself.
the funny thing is, if I want to find myself on Cage Match, I have to look at Ray most of the time. And then from there, I have to go down this weird rabbit hole.
Because like
So,
you said, you've held tag team titles in at Real Pro. You've held tag team titles at Establish. You
yep.
said Riot, I believe.
Yep, we have Real Pro, Riot. So I was tag team champion at Real Pro one time. That was for about 200 days, 160 days. Then we had the Riot Pro Tag Team Championships twice, both reigns combined for over a year, close to 2 years. Um, we had the Division Pro Tag Team Championships, which is something that Ray won with Wolf. Then we freebirded it, and then I took the titles. That was about 600 days from the time we won it to the time we lost it. Um, and now we have the Florida Tag Team Championships at Establishment. And we've been champions since October.
And you're also the Legacy champion at.
Yes, I am the Real Pro Legacy champion. So currently I'm a double champion in two different companies. Real Pro, I've held the championship there for it's going on 800 days now. I've lost track. It's been since December 3rd of 2023.
Roman Reigns, he is coming for the title of the longest reigning champion in pro wrestling.
Shoot, I'm pretty sure I gotta beat what's his name? Bruno. Bruno.
No
I
one,
ain't gonna have a Bruno reign.
Roman Reigns couldn't even have a Bruno Reigns.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, but if I get to the point where I have a Bruno reign on the indies, I think I'm doing something I'm not gonna say doing something wrong. Maybe that's where I'm meant to be, but I don't want a Bruno reign on the indies.
Hey, I mean, if the Young Bucks have taught us anything, you can make a lot of money on the indies.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's exactly what my goal is. I want to make as much money as possible on the out here on these indies right now, but I think the goal is Japan. Maybe if I get called to WWE, I'm not gonna say no,
Mhm.
but at the same time, like I want to see how far I can go in wrestling.
Yeah.
That's the end goal.
So I need to ask, what got you into professional wrestling?
So realistically, I had a love for professional wrestling from about middle school.
Mhm.
Um, I guess it was just seeing just the storylines and seeing how you could like get attached to certain characters and just watching like certain people's story play out. Like around that time, it was huge. I guess we had two parallel stories at the time. We had CM Punk on one brand, and then you had Jeff Hardy on the other brand. So that was kind of the thing where I kind of watched these two guys come up from where they were supposed to be on like the mid card where nobody believed that they were the superstar that they needed to be. And then you kind of saw them grow into those two champions. Like CM Punk had the world championship, Jeff Hardy had the WWE championship. Then, you know, it was one of those things where I was kind of watching these two guys who a lot of people kind of doubted for a long time during their career,
Yeah.
just kind of grow into their own. Um, there was a lot of different storylines going on at that point. You had that, then you had Chris Jericho who was on his major heel run when he was doing the No Country for Old Men gimmick where he was coming out in the suits and everything. and it was him and Shawn Michaels at the time, and that was one of the biggest storylines of my career because I'm sitting there, I'm watching. Shawn Michaels had a hell of a 2008, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like he had the storyline with JBL at the beginning of the year, which led into um his WrestleMania match that he had with Ric Flair. And then Shawn Michaels had the retirement storyline where Chris Jericho had threw him into the TV and everything. And like, I don't know, I was following that storyline very heavily around the time, and you're just watching this one guy who he's just like out for revenge, out for blood. And I'm like, Shawn Michaels need to get his get back.
I
2008 Shawn Michaels, like, let's be honest, like, if I was 2008 Shawn Michaels, I'd be waiting outside Chris Jericho's car every week for
think
6 weeks straight.
did the TV spot happen at SummerSlam, or was that on a Raw?
It was on a Raw where that had happened.
Because
And then,
that SummerSlam was in Indianapolis, and that was
yeah.
the last SummerSlam that I went to before joining the military.
So that SummerSlam, I want to say that was the one right after he had punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face, which is a sentence to say. Because like I'm sitting here, I'm like, Chris Jericho really was out here punching this man's wife in the face for real, for real. Like straight up decked Shawn Michaels' wife. Um, was that the match where Lance Cade was still around and he was helping him out?
I am looking it up right now, actually.
I want to say that was the case.
So on that card, it was MVP versus Jeff Hardy. Beth Phoenix and Santino Marella defeated Kofi Kingston and Mickey James for
Oh, that was that match. God.
um Matt Hardy defeated Mark Henry for the ECW title. CM Punk defeated JBL for the world title.
Yep.
Triple H beat the Great Khali, which okay.
Why did that match happen? That was that weird era where we were just letting Kali just do matches like the Punjabi prison match and
Yeah.
stuff.
And it was Batista and John Cena, and then Undertaker and Edge in Hell in a Cell.
That was the one where Batista and John Cena ended up Batista and John Cena ended up having that match where John Cena ended up getting hurt and ended or getting hurt. That was his last match before he ended up going and having surgery. Um, I want to say the match between Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels happened at Unforgiven 2008,
That's
and
it.
that was where they ended up having the unsanctioned match.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember they ended up having the unsanctioned match earlier in the night. Chris Jericho lost, and then after that, he ended up going into the title match at the end of the match and winning the end of the night and winning the title. Because if I remember correctly.
What the fuck is Bam Neely? Sorry, the dark match was
Oh, Bam Neely was he was one of the wrestlers that was with Edge at that time. It was like Edge,
well, they have him with Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo. Yeah, it was Edge, Chavo, Bam Neely, Vicky Guerrero. God, you said, who the hell is Bam Neely? And I was like, oh man, you just went down a rabbit hole that I just did not want to go under.
Oh no, I got it. Oh
Bam Neely was just a big white dude
yeah,
that they just stuck with Edge and his people. I don't know where he came from or where he went.
he looks like Ralph Mosca. Rest in peace to that dude. Mm,
Oh my God. Bam Neely. That's a funny name.
very much.
Oh, that's a name. That's a name in general.
So, how do you love? Like, how much do you love tag team wrestling? Because obviously, you and Ray are the House of Spades. Yeah.
Okay, not gonna lie to you. When it comes down to it, I didn't think I'd like tag team wrestling. I thought I was gonna be more of a singles wrestler when I first started. I feel like if you're not like good friends with your tag team partner, you're not going to enjoy it as much because I've been teaming with my partner since, well, I've known Ray since 2015. I've known you guys since about then. That's
Yeah.
when I first came into the business. I first started training. And me and Ray have been friends ever since then. Um, but me and Ray started teaming up in 2021.
Hmm.
And I feel like you're not going to team with somebody consistently for 5 years if you don't like, if you're not actually friends with them. And
Yeah.
if you don't enjoy it, it's one of those things where tag teams are trying to break up all the time.
Hmm.
So like a lot, it's really just that simple. If you guys don't want to be together, just break up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like with me and Ray, like we've never had that moment where it's like, should we stop doing this? Nah, like
Hmm.
well, like at the end of the day, like if we want to go singles, we always know, yeah, we could always do that for a little bit. But tag team wrestling is, I feel like once you understand it, that's when you start to really have fun with it because with tag team wrestling, it's always like tag team wrestling and singles wrestling are kind of the same because you always want to have that uphill battle,
Yeah.
but you always want to with tag team wrestling, everybody plays their role. So there's always going to be that guy who he's fired up at the beginning and all this other like he gets in there, he's doing all these moves, and then he's the guy who gets cut off
Hmm.
because then you want to tell that story of that struggle where it's this one person who's looking for reprieve, he's looking for help the entire time. So he's reaching and he's trying to get to that other guy who's
Yeah.
fresh. You tag in and then that other guy finally makes the save and he's in there, just as fired up as his partner was at the beginning because his partner's been getting beat down the entire time. And then with the heels, you always want to make it there's a role to play because you never want to make your opponent look, in a sense, I guess, ridiculous.
Hmm.
Because as the heels, as the bad guys, you always want to be stopping your opponent from getting that tag because once they get that tag, that's basically the end of the match.
Yeah.
Because the fresh person's in, they're coming in, they're cleaning up house and all this other stuff. So it's kind of like a ride that you want to take your opponents on, not just them, but like the crowd. So with tag team wrestling, you always start going up like this,
Hmm.
and then eventually that roller coaster starts to take a dip because the other team starts to pull the legs out from underneath the good guys. And then it's just, oh, is he gonna make it to his partner? Will he? It's the will he, won't he
Yeah.
situation. So like in romance movies, what's the biggest plot point? Is he gonna ask her? Is he not? So then it always gets to that point where it's like he's gonna get close and then something happens. He's gonna get close, something happens. He gets close, something happens. So
That's K dramas. That's all it is. Like, well, he has
exactly,
something
like
happens. Like,
you
come
you
on.
want you're this close and it's just like, oh no, it's been taken away. And then finally when they get that tag, you're like, finally, yes, woo, let's
Mhm.
do this. And then House of Fire, they're just running through, just doing all this cleaning house. And I don't know, it's really fun for me because like I get to that point, I've gotten to this point where I hear the crowd just listening and they're just like, come on, let's go, Bobby, let's go. And I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to tag in Ray because as soon as I tag in Ray, they're going to go crazy. And every time I get that same response. So it's just like, all right, kick the first person off, tag. The other person comes, grab my leg, jump back, Enzy, tag to Ray. And then the crowd just erupts. And I'm like, yep, and I'm just watching him just clean house, and I'm just over on the corner, just holding my ribs, smiling, and I'm like, yeah, that hurt, but we got here. We finally got to this point where we could tell this story where he's like, all right, I finally got to my brother. He's good. Now it's time for me to get these two.
Yeah. So
And I feel like that's the joy of tag team wrestling.
I always wanted to do tag team wrestling, mainly because that's less stuff that I have to actually know in the match.
Yep.
But and me and Ray were talking about tagging, but that was kind of later when I was about to stop wrestling that we were talking about it. But like because I've known Ray for a hot minute,
Yeah.
and being a singles wrestler, it's cool and all, but again, that's way too much you got to remember. And then at least when there's more people, it's a lot stuff that you can bounce off each other. Besides just two people, and the one person just wants to get all their shit in, and I'll have to be like, uh, okay,
Yeah, I've learned that a lot more now because a lot of people are trying to just get their shit in, like you say, because it's just like I feel like everybody has something to prove, and I understand it because I was there once where I wanted to do everything. But I feel like the best wrestlers are those who can tell a story without doing much at all.
yeah. And like
So,
I never understood. There's understood people who just constantly always wanted to get their shit in, and I also never understood people who just wanted to. Oh, I can't be the heel because I don't like people booing me. Oh, I can't submit because that makes my character look weak. All these different things. One, I love being a heel because if I'm having a bad day, I don't have to smile in these kids' faces. I ain't got to high five them. Get on.
it, it's that, and it's the fact that I like when people boo me. Like, if people are booing me, I'm just like, okay, I'm doing my job
Yeah.
right. I don't do much, but like I'll do like a few moves here and there. But the whole thing is, I want you to boo me. I want you to get in my face because my whole thing is, at the end of the day, I have to make this other person look good too.
Hmm.
And the whole thing is, if you're not booing me, chances are you're probably not going to be cheering this person
Yeah.
when they start doing all their big stuff because I haven't given you a reason to care.
Yeah.
And with being a heel, I feel like everybody wants to be a cool heel nowadays. And that's okay, I guess, but at the same time, it's like if you're out here trying to be cool and everything, then chances are you're missing half of the job because the whole thing as a heel is I want people to boo me so people can cheer this baby face.
Mhm.
I want people to not like me because at the end of the day, I'm not a good person. I'm a slime ball, I'm a sleazy person. I'm a chicken shit. Like I want them not to like me for these reasons. And at the end of the day, I want this other person across the ring from me to get their get back against me because otherwise there's no real point to this match. Like why are we fighting?
And then there's multiple times where people who are heels, they kind of like, oh, I do a moonsault, I do a backflip, I do this, that, then I do then a power bomb. There are certain times where that's necessary, but to me, a heel shouldn't be doing the cool moves. Like every time I'm a heel, it's like, oh, what do you want to do? Punch, kick, don't be a mark. I'm I'm gonna make them
My favorite move when I'm a heel is a clothesline.
yes.
A clothesline, like that ass. I love clotheslining, punching, kicking. The most I'll do is a suplex or a drop kick.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like with being a heel, less is more. You want people to boo you, so it's just kick to the face. Ha! You see, this is who you guys are rooting for. Da 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 da. Hit him in the head. Give him a chop. Like they're gonna be chopping you when you guys go for the tag team title.
I'll literally I will go ahead and I'll clothesline somebody. I'll get up in the I'll just walk around the ring and I'll be like, you guys are booing me, but you guys keep coming back and paying me your money. I appreciate it. Thank you for paying for those seats that are going to be paying my rent this month. Appreciate you, big dog.
And then like even as a face, during the heat, it was always easy for me because one thing people don't necessarily know how to do is set themselves up to be like attacked. I don't feel like playing Grand Theft Auto right now. Sorry, Aladdin. So it's like, boom, you hit me. I go to the corner. Bam, you chop me. I hated being chopped. I hated it. You got one chop, I'm pushing you, and I'm crawling. I'm crawling to another corner. Bam, get up in the corner. Bam, you hit me. Oh, fuck. Get your way. Get off of me. Go to another corner. Like I'm
Yep.
circling the corners and getting, like, feeding my body to get another attack. And just waiting for that hope spot, waiting for that double down so I can fire up. But not a lot of people understand like how to feed their bodies
Yep.
to take hits.
And that's the thing, as a baby face, that's something that I had to learn because a lot of people were telling me I wasn't selling, I wasn't opening up. So like with things like that, you always want to be listening because when I first started, like it used to I can understand it would piss people off. But the thing is, like, if you sell and you sell big, chances are half the time you're not gonna have to take a lot of moves
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like, oh man, you're making my job look real easy. You're making me look really strong. So like if I get hit in the face, I just start to just I'll just I'll just start to sell down, and I'm just like just start just laying boots on me, and I just start crawling around the ring, and I'll
Yeah.
open up, and I'll just push my opponent away. They come back, they give me something big. Like the whole thing is, you want to make it seem like you're trying to catch your breath the entire time. So like when you finally get that second wind, it's like okay, cool. He's been fighting back. A lot of people when they're doing babyface and they're selling, they sell dead.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
that's the thing, like if this person hits you two, three times and then you're dead, what's the point of me getting behind you? It doesn't really seem
mhm.
like you got much fight in you. So that's something I learned. Like it's always just like even if you're taking like a big move, always show that face that you still have some sort of cognizance.
Yeah.
So like for me, what I'll try to do is like as soon as I hit the ground, I'll sell for a bit and I'll look up and I'll try to find a camera. I'll try to find some kid. I'll try to find that mother in the front row and I'll just look at them and I just reach and then I fall over.
Yep.
Because a lot of the time it's like, oh snap, he's reaching out to me. He needs my You ever seen Goku do the spirit bomb? Exactly. All right. I'm glad we were on the same page.
Come on now.
Yes.
I got my Shinron and
I understand. That's why I'm just like, man, I had to just say that real quick.
back.
You ever seen Goku do the spirit bomb?
Yes. Ugh.
Just
And it's I miss wrestling so badly. Like when I'm at work, so work at a hospital, I'm constantly pantomiming moves, and I haven't been in the ring since 2019.
shoot. We need to get you back around the ring. Come out to the establishment show on Saturday.
See,
We got our show Saturday at 7.
here's the thing. I literally live 1,000 miles away. I live in Indiana now.
Well, guess who's going to be in Indiana March 7th?
You?
House of Spades.
Where at? You got where? What am I working? Where y'all
I'm
gonna?
gonna let you know exactly where we are. I'm gonna hit up Azzy and them, but it's gonna be MWT.
Okay, I'm checking my schedule now to see if I'm off. Because if I am, I'm gonna be with you guys.
Yep. So it's gonna be me, Ray, Azzy, and Noah. We're gonna be going up to Indiana on the 7th. Let me see if I can
I'm
find
off.
let me see if I can find the dates. Give me just a second.
Because I've been trying to get people to come up here to Indiana to wrestle because we have some really good promotions. We have Naptown All Pro. Um,
Yeah, I've heard things
yeah.
about Naptown All Pro. I've heard things about MWT. I've heard a few things about a few of these different spaces out there. Naptown, one of my other tag team partners, No Avail, they are the champions out in Naptown,
Okay.
actually. And I think there's what TBD as well,
Uh, I don't know.
and that's North Carolina. But a lot of people do come from there to go over to Indiana, so it really is just like there's a few different spots out there. I'm trying to just go everywhere and anywhere and wrestle in as many places as possible.
And that's something that most people in Florida, because again, we both wrestled in Florida. Not a lot of people are trying to get out of Florida because WWE has NXT, and because at the time TNA was filming at Universal Studios, everybody was trying to come to Florida. I'm not gonna lie, me included, because of the thought of being seen. But I just talked to some people from Toronto who were part of Santo Morella's school. And one thing that he told them is like, yo, you have to get out there. You have to go to different promotions. You got to go to different states. You have to do what you got to do to be seen. And that's how you get seen by the feds and the CIA and the FBI, because that's what I call AEW and WWE. They're the CIA and the FBI. They're the feds. And like not a lot of people in Florida are trying to go out to different states because the one bad thing about Florida wrestling is it's all the same promotions, pretty
Yep.
much hiring the same wrestlers. So you're going to see the same wrestlers wrestle the same wrestler who wrestled the other wrestler might be tagging teaming with that wrestler. So there's no real diversity when it
It's
comes to
all just different variations of the same match. And I mean, you can do that if you make it interesting and you make people invest in that match. Like I remember I had essentially the same match for 4 months straight, but just because it was okay, let's start here. All right, let's add more. Okay, let's add even more. And the fourth match was just okay, let's just do a callback to our first three matches
Mhm.
and just give everybody our greatest hits. And that's the thing, like when you do things like that, you can make it interesting and you can make people care for back to back. But it's just like a lot of people try to get it goes back to the getting your shit in conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people try to get their shit in the first time and they don't leave anything for the second, third, fourth time when you need to do that.
Mhm.
Because like for me, I'm like I might wrestle this person again. If I wrestle this person again, I'm gonna want to do something different. So
Mhm.
let me not do everything that I have in my arsenal so that I can actually, show something different when we come back.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what a lot of people's mindset needs to be. It needs to be like, okay, so where can we build from here?
Mhm.
Because if I give you everything, what can I give you next time?
Nothing.
So,
You could be the ultimate heel, and when somebody takes out a table, you put it back. That's the ultimate heel spot.
and that's the thing. Like a lot of people, like that's things that people never thought of, or people just don't do because people are like, if I bring this weapon out, I have to use the weapon. No, you don't.
Not at all. Like you could easily just put it right back.
You want tables? That's cool. I don't. Right back. Simple as that.
And that can get like just that spot alone can get you more heat than you yelling at the crowd like no, just settle.
It gets you more heat than that. It gets you more heat than if you were to use the table. Shoot, if you go through the table, they're going to be cheering you. So
Yeah,
at that point, just take the table and put it back.
hell, the last time I went to a WWE event, they pulled out a table, they started cheering, and all of a sudden we want fire. What? You psychopaths?
Are you sure that you weren't at like a JCW or like a CZW event, like one of those
No,
like
it was the WWE.
We Want Fire is crazy.
Yes.
John Moxley definitely desensitized these people. My favorite, there's a lot of things I love about being a professional wrestler. Like, it's just getting to be around the ring and like actually getting to get in the ring is one of the major things because there's a lot of people who I know want to get in the ring, but there's a difference between being a fan in the ring and being a wrestler in the ring.
Yep.
Um, Getting to go on road trips with my friends is a huge part of it because I love just getting to hang out with my friends and just talk to them for hours on end. That's a huge thing. Getting to see people who I haven't seen in forever whenever we go to different states. I don't know. I guess just all of it. Like, the entire thing is probably my favorite thing because I never thought I would be a wrestler.